My name is Mike Rodriguez, and for the last 12 years, I've hosted a podcast called The Audio Nowcast with a bunch of my industry friends. I work in the audio industry, and this is the space where I mix. I spend a lot of time in here, and one day I decided it would be good to go outside. So I did. I traveled around the world, filming the unique spaces where audio is made, played, or listened to. This is Audio Nowcast Spaces. Welcome to Striper Tour 1990. Here we are in lovely Toronto. Here is our room. Brent, show them our room.
We just got up.
Just got up. This is the start of our videotape.
My name is Brent Jeffers. I'm a keyboard tech piano tuner, and I reside here in the Music City of Nashville. So we're off to the Waffle House.
I'm so glad I set up this camera.
It's our favorite little greasy spoon here in Nashville.
All right, man, Waffle House.
We're at the Waffle House.
I haven't been to Waffle House like since I was basically on tour, or
Yeah.
if I really want to tell the truth, since like Thursday.
Fish fry, muscle cars, and apple pie. Bonfire on a chilly night. Cup of coffee, watching the sunrise. Right here in my hometown. That's right.
All right, let's roll.
Waffle House!
I'm so full.
Waffle House! You know what? That was really delicious.
It was good.
That was really great. And
Yeah, thanks for helping me discover this Waffle House.
really think
Because I'm always sending the other waffles. I'm always sending back my bacon because they cook it ahead of time.
see Waffle Houses. To me, it just reminds me of the road. It reminds me
Yeah.
of those late night bus stops after the gig. You know, you drive out about an hour.
Yep.
And everybody's hungry, and you stop at the Waffle House.
And they're open.
And you run into like other touring bands if it's the summer.
Yep.
And you just run into other crews, and
Look out, man.
and you see, you run into friends. It's just really kind of fun. Just has a lot of good memories at the Waffle House for me.
Yep. That and White Castle.
Yeah. We're here at Southern Ground, Nashville, and we're here with a good friend Brandon. He's going to show us around, give us a little tour.
Yeah, come on, check out Studio 8.
This is incredible.
It's a really special space.
The high ceilings, the 2 stories, the energy in this place,
Yeah.
and the feel of the room as soon as you walk in. I understand why the Southern Ground band sounds the way it does.
It's a perfect room to make records in.
I got to show you one of the coolest ISO rooms I've seen yet. Look at this. Look at this little guy right here. That's so cool.
It's tight in the corner here, but it's pretty well appointed for the space.
Wow. You have a little bit of everything.
We try to mix it up.
67s.
All the old
RCAs.
classics.
How beautiful is this console? How beautiful is that?
Beautiful.
It's
No.
beautiful. It's,
Alligator skin?
Yeah, alligator.
Lacquered sides?
Lacquered, well, airbrush, custom airbrush sides. When Zach bought the building, there was a Neve V3 in here. Zach was gracious enough to let us pick out a new console, and the API fit the bill better than anything else we could find. It's just easy for people to be in communication.
Look how tall that is. That's so cool. You know what? See, I would be up there. Can I get a little more 4K?
Man, it's a great view of the room from up there. It really is.
I'm gonna have to sit up there and take a peek at that. This console is it's so tricked out. The only thing it needs is spinners. I love these reverbs.
Man, it's really hard to beat them. And it's amazing having, I think, at least 2 of these came from the same place, and I think lived most of their life together before coming here. And
so you didn't separate them?
We didn't separate them. I mean, what's unique about Southern Ground beyond the appearance is that when we have a session in, we have Rebecca Woods, our studio mama, and she'll come down and cook lunch for everybody in the band. I mean, I know, having been a freelance engineer before and working at other studios, the meal is always the most difficult part.
Is she around? What kind of hanger? All right, I have no idea where we are. I know we're somewhere in Tennessee still.
Come on.
Okay, this is the SSL you were talking about.
Yeah, so it's SSL 4000. I think it's 56 channels now. It had an extra bucket. It was a 64 channel desk originally, but we chopped the bucket off to make it fit. ATC 300s. Well, good assortment of outboard gear for a mixed room. And like I said earlier, we can patch the plates over from the shop. So if somebody wanted to mix with a plate, which who wouldn't, we patch a plate over here. But I've been in here making a mess for a couple days. So this is our budget tracking space.
Well, I mean, how do these atomics sound?
I love them.
Really?
I love them, and I think they're also a really great deal for the price. Coming out here exhausted, everybody's gone home, and just hearing the room dead quiet. It's, I don't know, there's something special about it. And it's that way with a lot of studios. But, just the feeling of, I don't know, just the calm after the storm almost. It's just an amazing feeling, an amazing sound even.
The thing I love about Nashville, it's a community. It's a community of studios. It's a community of engineers, producers. It's a community of artists that come together and just make musical magic.
This is so cool. This is a really beautiful room. Thank you. Yeah, you walk in here, the floor, tiling. Tell me a little bit about this room.
Okay. It was just totally unfinished. It was an attic. There was no drywall. It was just all framing. So there was this was all dropped with we just had joists going across this, and just you couldn't even see what was up in the ceiling. So I said, well, why don't we move the joists and take advantage of the 18-foot ceiling here. This is going to be a tracking room, but I would come in here for an hour at a time and stand here and think, what am I going to do? Because it was just so crazy.
I mean, look at all the angles and all.
Right, and I had to figure
the cables
out. I had to make them symmetrical somewhat in the room. I wanted to, this is a beam. We couldn't take out this beam, so but I was able to keep that open because I didn't want to create a cavity in there. So I kept that open, and then this kind of dictated, a drum code. But the way this code works, this is all absorption behind here, except for those diffusion panels, and it almost acts as a booth, so it doesn't like kill you out in the room. And if you wanted to have more live, you can bring it out to the room. But what I was shooting for was neutral.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I always shoot for. Basically, these two walls are all absorptive, and everything else is live except for the hanging panels. And so it's just, it's just right.
Yeah. It has a live room feel.
Right. But controllable.
Yeah, control. You hear a little bit of the tail, but not.
Right.
But not. It's very musical.
Right.
It's not too much, and it doesn't like it goes. It's a sharp drop.
Right. Right. To figure out how we could get some kind of a booth in here. So this acts as a booth, combination booth, entrance vestibule, and machine room. I like to when I do my my booths, I like it very dead, except you've got the biggest window I can possibly find, so that if you want a little liveness, you play over here. If you want to data over here, gives you that flexibility.
You know what's cool is with the.
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
You can hear that reverb.
Yeah, it's probably like a.
Yeah, nice little
3-second
nice little
trail there.
You mind if I shut the door? Yeah. We'll hear the before and after. Oh yeah. Wow! Do that again? That's dead.
Yeah.
This is a great control room. This is really, I mean, it feels really homey. I love the open window, and the board just looks amazing. What a great little board.
I like the color. when he picked the green, I said, let's go with the green, then we can get maple and it'll really pop.
It's so, I mean, this has a look unlike any other studio that I've been to, especially with the Tree Audio, right? Is that what it is?
Tree Audio, yeah. They're just, I think it's based on, the concept is based off the Bill Putnam, the old studios, because there's no faders, you get knobs. And your first thought is like, how are you going to mix something without faders? But everybody mixes in the box now anyway, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, basically what you do is you set your levels, and and I can only imagine how Pro
this
Tools
with that
with
room,
this and that room, and the saturation you'll get from the tubes. Wow, this could have a really great dense rock and roll sound. Yeah. The fact that you have a home studio that's this well thought out and this well designed, and you did a lot, doing as much as you did in here with the limited amount of space, it's pretty incredible.
A friend of mine came to me and said, hey, I have this girl that needs some material. Would you be willing to write some songs? So there's a basement of the dorm that I was staying at, and I wrote a few songs for this girl. And Eric Blair was his name. He came to me and says, hey, these are good songs. I'd probably get Michael Sweet from Stryper to play on it. And I went, what? So then he went to Michael Sweet, played these songs, and Michael Sweet came down to the studio and recorded these songs. And shortly thereafter, Eric Blair came and said, hey, Stryper's looking for a keyboard player, as they were getting a little more pop rock. I said, I'd love to do it. So he came to me and says, hey, learn these songs from the previous album. So I learned the songs, and they gave me a chance to audition. And believe me, I was very, very nervous. But I went up there and rehearsed. And kind of the rest is history. Shortly thereafter, when I was working in a warehouse, I get a call over the intercom saying, Brent, there's a phone call from Janice Sweet, which I knew was their mom and manager. And when I got on the phone, she wanted to interview me for the gig. And that's where my whole career started.
Here we are, Salt Lake City at the, what Coliseum is this, Brent?
Sports Arena.
Sports Arena. Okay, it's a big gig. It looks all nice and good, right? But I'm about to show you the expose of this tour. Follow me. The problem is we didn't have a drum riser, so we had to make one ourselves. So we got tables.
These tapes are much over, dude.
Here it is, look. We don't know if this is gonna hold.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Probably gotta play in a good venue, large stage, room, setup, and everything. This is Keyboard World.
A little trimmed down from last tour, but I tried to keep it simple this time around because I wasn't sure how long the tour was going to be. Well, we're going home in a few, so.
What do you think about Bob's drum riser situation?
Well, it'll be fun. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. If it falls, hey, it'll be cool to see it.
This is Addiction Studios, owned by Jonathan Kane from Journey. And you may be asking yourself, why do you name it Addiction? Well, before the studio was here, there was a little house here that was a rehab.
This is a great little, oh my gosh, what a great little isolation room. You gotta see this. Come over here. I wanna make a room. How cool is that?
Wow.
So back a couple records ago, John found this piano in San Francisco, and he heard about Fazioli. He's an Italian piano maker. And I think John paid around 120 grand for it. Went to the recording studio, absolutely fell in love with it. And then after the record was done, he asked me if we could take it on the road. Would it be safe? And so I built this fancy schmancy road case for it. And as you could tell, I worked hard to keep it in really good shape. And I felt, nervous, setting up every day. Hopefully I had good stage hands. This is the tracking room, obviously, and he's had orchestras in here, a lot of famous bands. So everything's kind of set up and mic'd, ready to go. If you just want to walk in and start recording, you can.
I love the natural light that comes in here.
Yep. And his ex-wife Liz did all these chandeliers, put her touch on it.
I like the corner. There's ISO rooms in the corners too, right?
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. This is big. This is a big...
Yeah, you can put a small orchestra in here.
You can, I can tell. This is really cool. This is really cool.
Here's some history here. So, this is an old Roland Jupiter 8 that we pulled out of his storage unit when he moved from California to Nashville.
Right.
I pulled it out, had a dead battery, ordered a new battery, had an old tape cassette recorder that you loaded the sounds in, and sure shooting, I put it in there, loaded the sounds, and this is the actual Jupiter 8 that John played Separate Ways on.
Wait, that's the actual keyboard from the music video?
Yes, this is the actual keyboard
from the music video.
From 1983, and as you can tell, there's a piece of tape on here that says Separate Ways, BRS, Separate Ways, and then a Faithfully ending. So it's all presets, but it's a really clean shape. And this goes back to when John was with the Babies, the band before he was with Journey. And it's an old Wurlitzer. And this is the song he actually wrote Open Arms on.
That one?
This is the exact one. Anyway, this is when and what's interesting, so he was with the Babies when he wrote Open Arms.
Okay.
So he went to John Waite and goes, hey, I got this ballad. And Waite heard it, and he goes, no, that's not rock and roll. So John didn't use it with the Babies, but then when he got with Journey, he went to Perry and goes, hey, I got this little ballad. And Perry goes, I could probably do something with that.
Nice.
This is the big control room.
This is really, really nice.
And this is Jonathan's, is his Trident TSN board. And he bought this from the record plant. I drove this with Jonathan in a U-Haul truck from California out here.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
kind of interesting too, because you know this desk came from Record Plant Sausalito. Stevie Wonder, Songs of the Key of Life was recorded on this console.
Songs of the Key of Life was recorded on this console.
On this console, along with
that's crazy.
Hugh Lewis and the New Sports, a bunch of Aerosmith stuff, a bunch of Journey stuff, obviously.
Okay, you had me at Stevie Wonder Songs of the Key.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Hey man, thanks for the tour. This is really cool.
Oh, my pleasure, man.
And there's like music history all around.
Yep.
All around.
I could walk down memory lane, and this is stuff that Jonathan used back in the day. So I was out on the American Idol tour, and about almost towards the end, I get a phone call from the Journey people, and they notified me saying, "Hey, listen, we have this one-off gig that's after the tour." And the keyboard tech said pretty much, "No, I'm done. Go after yourself." I don't know if I could use that or not. So they called me and they said, "Hey, we see that you have a day off between Denver and San Francisco on the American Idol tour. Can we fly you out for this one-off in San Francisco?" And I said, "Sure." But I didn't have my piano tuning stuff. So they flew me out. I had my roommate fly my piano tuning stuff out. And when my tuner arrived, it showed up broken. So now I have to tune the piano by ear, which I have not done since I went through the piano tuning school. So there I am, tuning the piano by ear, and what happens? Neil Sean decides to come out on stage when it was quiet and start noodling at full volume. And I'm trying to tune and going, "Oh, this is not a good way to start." So I remember putting my head down, going, "Oh, this is not going to work." And the lighting director came up to me and goes, "Is everything all right?" And I go, "Dude, this is my first day. I'm trying to tune. Neil Sean's out there noodling. I can't hear what I'm doing." And all of a sudden he looks up at Neil and goes, "Hey, Neil, cut it down. The piano tuner's trying to tune." I went, No. And Neil looks at him and then looks at me and goes, and he walked off. I went, "Oh, no, I just pissed off Neil Sean my first day." Anyway, so I was nervous. I tuned the piano to the best of my ability by ear. All of a sudden, Jonathan Cain walks out. And now I'm just like nervous, totally nervous. He shakes my hand. He goes over and starts playing. And he hits a few notes, and then he turns around and looks at me and goes, "Good work, doctor." I just like, and and anyway, the rest is history. And that kind of sealed the deal with me getting the gig with Journey.
Biggest pain in the butt on the road is laundry. And yet you love laundry.
I don't mind laundry. I've never minded it. I like doing my own laundry on the road. We did a show where the laundry guy, who's the runner, went out and did the laundry. Then he was supposed to go out and pick it up to bring it back. And some reason he got really upset. He just quit. He drove off, never came back. Never came back. Well, he didn't go pick up the laundry. He just said, "I'll go pick up the laundry." He never came back. Come to find out, he quit. And so the people who sent out the laundry didn't get they had to FedEx it to the next gig.
Well, Blackbird is a recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm a competitive SOB, so Nashville, I feel like, gets treated like a redheaded stepchild by LA and New York. And I thought, I need to build a studio that'll kick the shit out of anything in LA or New York. And we did.
This is our version, or Blackbird's version of a reverb tape.
Hey! Hey!
Wow.
Oh my...
The extra element of this is...
Woo! No way! The ceiling goes up.
Yeah, you pay extra for that sound.
I'm very proud of this place. I love music, I love gear, I love audio, I love microphones. And they're all just basically tools that people need to get the job done. I look at the producer and engineer and artist as painters. and you want to give them every color on the palette. You know, you don't want to go, sorry, we don't have brown today, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You want to give them anything they need to make their record.
There was a rumor flying around for a long time that if you went on eBay and you were bidding on vintage microphones, that odds are you were bidding against you.
Oh.
Did you get a lot of yours?
I don't know how true. You know, it's funny. I bought a few things on eBay, but really, I mostly deal with individuals or dealers.
So tell us, Rolf, tell us a couple of your, about a couple of the microphones here.
Oh gosh, with just a couple. At any given time, we've got about 12 to 1,400 microphones in the collection. Just a little bit of everything.
What is that?
Vintage. That's one of the earliest ribbon mics, and we have about a dozen of those. It's a Telefunken 2L1.
Oh my! I've never seen that microphone.
Got a few more.
Oh my god!
Got about a dozen of all the classic ribbon mics and these mics. So we got some of those.
Oh my goodness!
77s.
Wow.
And then these are the old skunk mics, the KU2s.
Oh my goodness!
Those are old soundstage mics. And the operators, they were on the ends of these long booms on the sound stages. And they were maybe 20, 25 feet away on the end of the boom. And in order for the operator to see where the ribbon was, they painted a white stripe on them.
Wow.
So that's why they got nicknamed the skunk mics. There's more of the, those are the KU3s. Right there.
Wow.
See.
And those were the flagship RCA mics for a long time. And we've got about a dozen of those. And then, at any given time, a bunch of those guys, the 44s are in there.
So when are we recording in here, Mike?
I
Our
know.
next adventure.
And look at that, we even have some of those.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're in Studio A right now, correct? And this has the new console.
Neve 8078,
And then Studio B has the
an API,
the
Legacy Plus,
and then you got Studio C.
That's SSL.
And then D.
API.
And then
E, API.
Wow.
F, well, in the box. G is pretty much in the box. H has an API.
Wow.
And I is also in the box.
Wow.
So. One thing that separates us from a lot of studios, we have a pretty immense amount of band gear. You know, we've got 60 something drum kits, 160 snares, we've got bass rigs and probably 70 guitar amps and a lot of stuff. And about 100 guitars that lay around here. And if someone can use those to better their record, well, shit, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna go, let me go grab this. I started the school 5 years ago. Right. The reason I started that school, though, I should say this, is because we have 9 rooms. We have a lot of interns. Right. Let's say we have 16 interns. These were all graduates from various programs. Some 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, whatever. Different, you know, some were colleges, some were trade schools, whatever. I love it. And the problem was we'd get these interns in and they couldn't make a record if I held a gun to their head. Oh man. They didn't know they didn't know 10% of what they needed to know. And that really frustrated me. I thought, this is wrong, you know, and it is. And then you find out how much debt they had. And you go, oh,
that's not inexpensive.
It's insult to injury, you know. So I decided at that moment, I'm going to start a school.
My name is Mark Rubel. I'm a musician, engineer, producer, studio owner, author, occasional forensic audio expert witness, but I'm mainly the co-director of education at the Blackbird Academy and one of the instructors here. There are many things that make the Blackbird Academy different from other recording schools, I think. Partly it's the length, which is a 6-month program, but it is extremely intensive. We cover a wide range. We really cover just about everything that we think they need to know, and as much as we can do it. I call it a freeze-dried education, and it's so packed with experience that I think people who go here still years later are decoding things and going back over their notes and so forth.
Our 5-year anniversary was this month. Last year we turned a profit for the first time.
Wow.
Like 14 grand. I go, yes. But I don't care, because our kids are working all over the world.
Oh, that's fantastic.
A lot of great careers are getting started thanks to this school, and that really does my heart good. It's one of the most rewarding things that I get to experience.
Wow.
It really is.
That's fantastic.
Man, I wish this school would have been around when I started.
Yeah.
It would have saved me 10 years. I'm a lucky man because I get to work in music. My wife's a singer, I'm an engineer, so our careers complement each other. That's been a great thing for us. Because, if I was an accountant or something, I'd have blown my brains out probably, but no. She'd be touring and I'd be sitting at home going, what the hell? That doesn't work. Yeah. I don't know. Or it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But no, I'm a very fortunate guy that I get to work in music.
Being a keyboard tech for now going on 32 years has just been an absolute blessing. Although in the early stages, I really wanted to be that rock star out on stage, and I never got quite there. I got to be where I was an offstage keyboard player, but I think God's calling for me was to actually get into the technology and be a keyboard tech working for artists. And it's been, like I said, a total joy. I have no regrets. And being able to travel the world and to all the many places I've been, work with my absolute favorite bands. And I honestly say there's never been a band that I did not like working for. Everyone's always been wonderful to work for. It's always been a step up. Every band I've toured, it's always gone to the next level. And getting the opportunity to work with people like Journey and Stryper, David Foster, the Styx, I feel really blessed.
You know what? This is home. This is where I can still do what I do. This is a place where I can still do my music, work, in the studio, work with bands. But it's not LA. It's not, it's a whole different culture, and it's what I fell in love with. I met my wife across the street, we got married shortly after, it's just one of those places where you come to and you just fall in love with it, you make it your home.
About it. You can go outside and get some shots. It's really pretty today, so.
Say goodbye, Brent.
Goodbye, Brent.